Alright. Mr. Speaker, we believe that when you talk about democracy, it means that you're actually listening to the voices of the people. But when you actually allow the selling of votes, we believe that a part of your society is going to vote, and a part of it is going to sell their vote to the speaker, which leads to at the end of the day, half of the people isn't voting the speaker, and you honestly think that doesn't at all uphold the spirit of democracy. So coming up from the government side, I have two things to do here for today. Number one, I'll be explaining to you the definition. Number two, I'll be talking about the importance of voting. And number three, I'll be all explaining on how by selling of votes doesn't uphold the spirit of democracy, and it will lead to a very unfair democracy. So we honestly think that disallowing the selling of votes is the best thing to do, because we believe that selling of votes is really unjustified in the speaker. So for the definition, right, what we actually want and what the government is fighting for is that we honestly would not allow people to give out their vote to another person in exchange for revenue of the money we receive. Why? Because we honestly think that this doesn't at all uphold the idea of democracy, and it is really unjustified. So I think that's clear enough. Now let's go on to the next thing I want to talk about, on why voting is very important. You see, Mr. Speaker, the idea of voting is because we want to choose who's your next leader. And of course, if we want our next leader, we want the person who is the best, and could give us the best, Mr. Speaker. So we want you, as the people, all of you, to choose the leader that you think that you could benefit from later, and who will be giving you and having good plans for you, good ideas for your welfare, Mr. Speaker, and could do you good. And that is when the idea of majority comes in. We believe, Mr. Speaker, that when you are actually supported by many, that is when we say that you are actually a very good leader, and that's why most of the people are actually supporting you. And that is why we honestly think that you should go forward. But when you actually have the idea of selling of votes, that majority could be losing out, Mr. Speaker. So now let's go on to how we think that it doesn't uphold the spirit of democracy, and will lead to unfair democracy, Mr. Speaker. So right now, when you actually allow the selling of votes, it's now the question of who are you actually selling it to? The voters of the followers of politician A, or the voters for politician B, Mr. Speaker. So right now, because we believe that, especially in conditions where competition is very tight, a vote can make a total difference, and it could have another person standing up on your post that you may not want, Mr. Speaker. So you see, when you sell your votes to a follower, it means a lot, because at the end of the day, you're going to have that particular follower voting for the person that he thinks is right twice, or even thrice, or even 10 times, in speaker, if he got 10 votes. So let me give you a situation when you have a person, or let's say the follower of politician A, buying more votes than followers of politician B. But in actual reality, politician B is supported by majority, and politician A is supported by the minority. But when politician A buys more votes, he at the end of the day gets that push and gets to be the leader. We tell him, Mr. Speaker, this is just totally wrong, and it shouldn't be done. Why? Because the idea of majority is losing out. We believe that when you are a majority, it means that you're supporting for something good. It means most of the people want them to be governed in a certain way, or in a certain proposal that the politician B has already stated out in his speech or whatever. So we tell him, Mr. Speaker, when you have a majority losing, it is honestly doesn't uphold the spirit of democracy. Why? Because right now, the idea of democracy itself is to have the people voicing out their say. All of the people voicing out their say and choosing their leader. And always, Mr. Speaker, we tell you that the majority should win, because it is the person who is supported by many, meaning to say that particular politician gives out a good proposal, Mr. Speaker. So when you actually let the selling of votes, and when you actually only let half of the people vote, then it will lead to a very unfair democracy, and it doesn't at all uphold the spirit of democracy. Because when you actually allow it, you're going to have this group of people and say that might and is in need for money to sell the votes, their votes, because they are number one in need of money. And number two, you're going to have these people who doesn't care about the political state of their country, and who just say, you know what, if I don't care, I'm just going to give out my money, I'm going to give out my vote to someone, and I'm going to get money with it. We tell you that, Mr. Speaker, these two type of people shouldn't be in the society today. Right now, if you have these two kind of people in the society, what we honestly think that the government should do is that they really should educate these people on why the political state of their country is very important, Mr. Speaker. Because you are the reason, these two people could actually make a whole difference to the political, to the leader who will be governing your country, Mr. Speaker. So we tell you that what you're doing here for today by allowing the selling of votes is really bad, and it could lead to an unfair democracy, Mr. Speaker. Because at the end of the day, you might have the majority losing, and the idea of democracy would now stand on the idea of, you know what, who buys the most votes goes forward, and not the idea of the majority wins, Mr. Speaker. So what I've told you for the past 6 minutes is very simple. I've told you on why voting is very important, because it would really determine who will be governing your state, and who will be having the best ideas and plans for your state and for yourself. And number two, I've talked about on why democracy will not be upheld when you actually allow the selling of votes. Why? Because right now democracy will no longer go under the idea who is supported by the majority, but it will now go under who buys the most votes. And we tell you, in this kind of situation, the minorities could win, and we tell you that is not right, because we believe that democracy goes under who is supported by majority, and we believe that the majority should win the future. So that's all I've been saying for today, and we honestly think that the government here should stand the speaker. Thank you.